G'day, guys. I think we're live. Frank, g'day. Mark Osborne, hello. Russell, hello. Pretty quiet here tonight. Sorry, I'm sort of still recovering from a migraine. I've been at work all day, but I'm a bit sort of fragile, so I didn't actually post this up anywhere, so probably no one's actually seen or remembered this live stream. We're down to 3 people, which is a bit weird at the start of live stream. Now we're down to 2. And that's Stuart and Dan. Good. Hey, guys. So that's where we're at. I'm taking it pretty easy, actually. We're going to go there. Yeah, I'm a bit sort of stuffed, actually. I don't know. Probably got Dan's disease, whatever that is. I don't know. Yesterday I spent most of the day in bed, and Monday and today wouldn't have hurt either. But anyway, I went to work and we had a big day. So it's also pretty hot. Like, it's crazy hot here. Pretty muggy. So taking it fairly easy. But I thought, well, we might as well have live stream. You guys will be waiting around for it and it won't happen. We're back up to 7. So, hey, guys, welcome. Yeah, that it's one leads to the other. Dan, yeah. That's how it is. As far as I know, you haven't bought any more. I haven't started buying guitars, so I haven't got it real bad. There's Allen key missing there. Let's fix that. Or have you? Yeah. What else? Sorry, that cheered me up. A McLaren traction engine. Oh my God. That was a pretty big one that I saw pictures of. All McLarens I've ever seen, none of them are on the small size. McLaren didn't make small size engines that I've ever seen. So there you go. You got that on your own. Hey, Mike from Cornwall. Good day. McLaren only made big stuff, so good luck with that. Gosh, I've been pretty good. I haven't really done anything or bought anything. I've been messing around here in the shed and the few hours that I had awake over the weekend. Magazine come today. You don't want us to Sentinel Drivers Club magazine. It's a nice magazine, actually. If you're interested in lorries and stuff from the Sentinel works, even light rail and locomotives and things. Probably, there you go, there's a Sentinel locomotive. Drawings of. There you go, fridge. Anyway, that's a nice magazine. More about that at some point, maybe, or maybe not. Hey, Stephen. Still messing around with these. There's heaps of them here on the bench. We'll move back a bit so you can actually see them and sort of straighten this up, maybe. Try that. Sorry if you're seasick. Don't know if I'm on a winner with this or not. We sort of got a bit fired up about Lorch Lay's last live stream, and I'm sorry about that. Anyone who dragged on a bit, and I got a bit passionate about that. So try not to go sort of get into that subject too much or it gets out of hand. These are Lorch 25mm collets. Someone asked a question about Lorch 12.5mm collets. Someone asked a question about 12.5mm collets in the comments last week. If you're watching this now, I haven't got a bless. Hey, Kevin. So I've made thread protectors on these, which they really need. These are 3D printed in nylon. We talked about that last week. Because I'm really sick of cleaning up threads and it's really not the answer. And these collets need looking after. So probably what I'm going to do is make a long tray with cutouts for here and a cutout to hook this on in a bit of an angle in a box. Don't know whether that way up or that way up or that way up, something like that. So that they sort of sit there and so you can actually read the size on the front of them and have a fold down box, or I don't know whether that's the thing or whether to have like just a stand for them. Don't like them filling up with dirt, so I'd like them undercover, but still thinking about that. Spend a little bit of time messing around with that. So things like a woodwork or soft material drive dog and 3 and 4 drawer chucks, things like that. Santa. I do have one of these. Quite a lot of Lorch accessories, but I have this, right? Which is a Lorch Live Centre. Well, as far as I know, it's a Lorch Live Centre. However, it's got a collet on here, which is all very good, excellent, all that stuff. But it's good because this is my headsock thread, right? Headsock collet. So if I had a drawbar or a tailstock that took these collets, at some point this might be quite useful. It's probably not a bad centre. I don't think it's got much wobble in it. But until that point, that's pretty useless. So there you go. What else? Colin Creed sent me a message saying, hey, look, bought this and it's too big for his machine. So he's posting it to me, which was really nice of him. That's awesome. So, universal indicator holder for the mill. Would fit very nicely on my big mill. And probably it's sort of okay for the little one. So that's excellent. He did manage to not post one and send me post one part and send me a picture of it afterwards. So he's still got part of it, but there's no great rush on that. So we can make that if we needed to. There's a little collar that locks that. But pretty useful. Thanks, Colin, if you're watching this. I sent you an message anyway, so we'll be in touch. How hard are Lorch bits and pieces to come by? Yeah, Impossible. There you go. If you want the actual reality on launch bits and pieces, they're impossible to come by. This is the last launch I bought. This could actually do with a bit of a clean up. Like everything that got moved ended up in just for way too long. But it's a little 3-dog faceplate. It's really nice to go on the big launch. Like Rock and Horse Dung, that came out of Germany. And a very good friend over there posted that on, so thanks to him I've got it, but it was a fair while coming. It sort of got sent back because overseas postage stopped out of Germany and all that stuff. But that's a pretty nice piece. Impossible just takes a bit longer. Yeah, probably. But having said that, there's a huge catalogue of launch bits and pieces that were available or that had catalogue numbers, put it that way. Not sure how much of it was actually built on demand or how much of it anyone carried in stock. But looking through launch catalogues from the years that I have, there's a lot of bits and pieces that I've never ever seen actually, even on eBay. So anyway, there's a few of these collets missing. We need some more of them. I'd like a couple more tail stocks for this machine, which should be available at some point. I'd like a more staple one, and I'd like a 12.5mm collet one, so I can put these collets in the tail stock. It'd be awesome. But anyway, that's where we're at with launch bits. And probably at some point, I'm never going to get rid of it, so it's going to be an ongoing project. And bits are probably something we can make if we needed to, if there's accessories that I haven't got. My mate Patrick called in, dropped off a couple of toolboxes, which is awesome, and some bits and pieces. This bench was clean, it's not now. Anyway. He dropped this toolbox in, which is awesome. It's really good. Thanks for that. I was going to ask you about that, Dan. Awesome. So this toolbox was empty, but it's a score because I put my bigger spanners in here. So still got to find somewhere to put it, but filled it up and we've got spanners. So there we go. There's a couple of other little toolboxes. I gave one to Dan because he was looking for one, so that's going to be awesome for him to sort something out. And there was another one to my flatmate Dan, and there was another little toolbox which I haven't really thought about what I'm going to put in it. It sort of occurred to me that I could go to paint and put this in here, right, somehow. But it's not really big enough. It's not really the ideal, and metal's not much fun. And it's a bit awkward, so we're going to make a wood box for this. This has a little don't know, had a piece to go in there as well. So hey Mark, Kimbazelic, g'day. I am here. Try turning it on and off again. So don't know what's going to happen with that one. It's a toolbox there. Swapsies for anyone who wants to. If you're going past and you've got something cool I want. Are we there? Has everyone got me? You're all a bit quiet. We're a bit quiet here tonight. I'm not feeling 100%, so we'll move over here. Look at all this spare space over here. How cool is that? Try and keep that clean. Okay, Patrick also dropped off this, right? So we're messing with this. I'm still here, Mark. Still here. Might be your internet. I can see you. Do the square section for another project. So here we go. Patrick dropped this off and I got messing with it. I don't know if this is really the final itineration, but I'm going to get just a couple of pieces of angle iron. Well, this was just a frame and it had 4 wheels, so I've drilled and tapped the bottoms. So you can see that. And put 4 casters on it, so that's awesome. So we've got a mobile trolley, which is quite good. It needs a coat of paint, but it's not bad. Right. I've found a bit of plywood that fits in there nicely, right? So that was not by design and not really what I was thinking, but I thought that looks about right size, and when I put it in there, it is the right size. So what I'm going to do, I think, is get a piece of 30mm angle iron or something and put in the corner here, when I get the welder going, to sit that on. And then I've made a drawer to go underneath. I'll put a couple of slides or a couple more bits of angle iron or something, just so that I can move that out and put cables and hoses and things in it. Probably going to put a divider in the drawer so I can put consumables and things in one corner. So that's where we are now. Everyone asked about the top. Because obviously that's something you do. What I'm going to do, I think, now, this is the thing. I find a bit of 10mm plate about that size, which is 550 by 700 or something like that. 550 by 750 would do. 550 by 700 would do. That's 20 inches by 28, something like that. How's that for on the fly? Conversion to black and white, that's pretty good. Don't need Photoshop for that one. Whether I drill holes in that and tap it, or whether if I'm feeling really energetic, I might. It'd probably be nice to do it. But I'll probably put 4 standards, about 50mm, something like that, here and here. And then I've got basically a line all the way around it for putting G-clamps on it and earth cables and things underneath the main desk, which is underneath the main top. So I'm going to put 4 uprights, whether they're just like joiner collars or something like that, or whether I actually make something. 1 each corner. I'm going to sit the plate on top and I'm going to put countersink bolts through it, so everything's nice and solid and smooth over the top, about that high. And then we should have a half decent sort of a welding trolley, I hope. But so far, it's cost me nothing, which is awesome. Really like the whole costing me nothing thing. And I've still got to find a top, which will be the expensive bit, but we'll sort that out. And then that can live up the other end of the shop, and it can double as an extra workspace. And we can probably make a... Mark, excellent question. That was the next question. Probably down the bottom here, a cradle for it in the bottom. Here, with probably a cradle or something at the top, so that it's portable eventually. And just put a D size on it. Big 7 Workshop, g'day. So that's the theory, but we'll see how that goes. So anyway, that's something I did mess with this weekend. I made a drawer, and it's the right spacing so that if I do happen at some point to put some flat or some square tube through here and some actual drawer runners, it's about the right spacing, so they might do that yet. And that's just 17 or 18 mil form ply, so it's a nice solid drawer that if I put even 50 kilo drawer runners on it, anything that goes in there is going to slide in and out like butter. So there we go. Anyway, that's sort of a work in progress. Anyone's got a bit of 10 mil or 16 mil or 5 mil or 25 mil or something like that plate that's 500 by 750 laying around that they want to sell, hit me up. Got to get it here, but yeah, interested. If you're local and you've got something like that, or you know where there is something, I'd be keen, but I'm really not as keen as I should be about going out and buying a new bit. There was a guy who had 10 mil plate, metre square, for $120 or something here locally, which was a pretty good sort of a deal. And if it comes to that, I might get it, but I've got to get it from Brisbane. And just yet, that's a problem, but there's no real rush on this. I've still got to get a gas bottle too. That's the expensive bit. Anyway, apart from that, we're all sorted. I opened an account with Speedy Gas, which is great. I just got to have some money in the bank so that they can charge my card. And yeah, that means baked beans for a week. But anyway, I just haven't made that plunge yet. So that's where I'm at. And if I got a bit of 10 mil or 16 mil or something like that, or 12 mil plate, or even 8 mil plate, which is probably heaps heavy enough over that size, I'd probably drill it and tap it M8 or M10 every 50 mil, something like that, if I was feeling really keen. And yeah, and then we could use a hold down system. Fridge, yeah, that's where I'm at with that. I'm glad you're here, Matt. We could see you clearly, but anyway. Brendan, g'day. Tender's looking really good. Yeah, the whole not eating thing only works for... It gets old quick. I've been doing it for months. But it does get old quick, so we'll see how we go with that. So that's the Weldon trolley situation at this point. That looks like it's going to be really good. And thanks, Patrick, if you ever watch this. I know you don't, but that's awesome. don't know whether I'll close it in or anything. I reckon it wouldn't be bad to close it in up the first 400 mil, up past that shelf, but probably won't happen either. So this table, I think, had a grinder on it when Patrick got it, and he was cleaning up, and he says, "Do you want this?" So he ended up with bringing anything he didn't want down here, and I've passed some of it on, but I'm going to keep this because it's not a bad table, and I think it's going to work out pretty well. Happy birthday, Mike from Cornwall. You've got to shout yourself because no one else will. Awesome, Mark. We'll definitely check that out. Slowly getting the bits together for the Jeremy Schmidt grinder build. Got most of the bits actually. So I'm kind of keen to get onto that as soon as this welding table's half finished. Pretty keen to make a project of that. Well, I said a couple of projects that I thought I was going to start this weekend, or one project that it's been sitting there for a while I was going to get a bit done on. But this weekend's been a total write-off, to be honest. Still is. I'm really not I'm feeling like death warmed up, to be honest. Anyway. What else? Excuse me. I've been cleaning up a bit. Not a whole lot, actually. Not as much as not as enthusiastic about it as I should be. But I've just been shifting stuff off benches and putting it away and finding homes for things. I've emptied out a drawer that said spanners that was way over full and put them in that toolbox. I've got another drawer there to put something else in, which is probably going to be lathe tools or something at this point. Yeah. Good morning, David. Thanks for your note on live stream the other week. Really appreciate that. That's pretty cool. Or your note on the Kenneth Wells traction engine build. Really appreciate that. It's good to put a little bit of background to the name. So that's awesome. Gee whiz. Raymond, g'day. This probably needs some sort of a shelf down the bottom to this welding cart. I'm just thinking about that now. A bit slack with that. But this is the front as such. I don't know if I put a shelf down there so it's just above the ground, like a piece of strap folded around with a flat plate in it. Or whether that every time I want to use it. Don't know about that. But there is a... Take care, Matt. Have a nice dog walk. So, don't know whether I make that part of the trolley. I probably don't actually. I probably just have somewhere to put it or put it in the drawer because I won't use it all the time. Anyway, they're all things that need some thoughts. Hey, Anthony Ruddy. Where was it made? It's made in Germany. Lathe. Thanks, David. Lorch lathes made in Germany. In oh my god, which city? It wasn't Stuttgart. Wasn't Berlin. One of the big industrial cities in Germany, anyway. Between 1880 and 1965-ish, they made a lathe that looked similar to that. So there you go. Just a million little things to do on that machine. Little improvements and accessories and things that could be done to make it quite good. We'll get there eventually. I have a Lee dovetail jig, which was in Tasmania in a box that I haven't really used a whole lot. I don't know if anyone's familiar with that. Don't know if I've even showed it on live stream or anything, but I'm going to probably dovetail up a nice little box for the thread cutting accessories. And even though the thread cutting attachment probably won't go in it very often, all the bits and pieces that go with it will, and I'll be able to find them there probably. It's a really good theory. Not 1000% sure that that's actually what's going to happen, but it's a good theory. So anyway, that's at this point, that's the TIG welder. And arc welder bench all getting set up. Good idea, Anthony. We will keep that in mind. Trouble is, it's never ever flat over time, but we'll see what we can find. I think we dumped the last barbecue plate. And we've got to upgrade outside now. Don't know what else is happening really. It's a bit sort of a bit of a non-event this week. It's nice when I've actually done lots of things and made a start on things or made some progress on things that I actually show people, but this week it really hasn't been like that. So bit ordinary. Thanks, Russell. Yeah, so I don't really even know what's on the agenda for this next coming weekend. Take care, Anthony. Thanks for that. Good to see you. I'm not sure there's anything else much happening that I've got planned or anything else. I did mess with this. I guess you've seen this somewhere. This 3D print, right? And theoretically it should work, but it doesn't. So it's a bit sort of like that. This was from a design and model engineer from like 1905, 1907, something like that. Pretty early on. Not a bad thing really, but it doesn't work this way, the way I had thought it would. This is a back gear for a Drummond round bed lathe, and this goes on the pulley on the headstock. So basically, I don't know if you can see that really. I need a Sharpie. Put this in here and put a pin in here for the back gear to locate this plate. I'll put a mark on there. There it is. There's the mark. If we put a pin in here so that this doesn't turn, and then we turn this, it actually runs about 1 to 4, I think it's 1 to 8, something like that. On this shaft, so it gives you the 4 to 1 or 8 to 1 or something. I can't remember what the ratio is. Onto the main shaft, onto the spindle. Gives you awesome back gear for that lathe. And if you put the pin in to locate that on the lathe, it gives you 1 to 1, it locks it solid. And then when you take it out and you pin this to the lathe rather than to the pulley, then you get a back gear. However, I had every intention of putting this up on my overhead drive. Locking this, but because of the gearing it doesn't work backwards really. This isn't really the answer. So what you need to do is change this so that this gear here drives on the outside here rather than on the inside of this pulley. See, this actually runs on there, on the, it actually needs to run on, instead of running on here, it needs to run on the outside with the ring gear. And then when you put it together, when you spin that, hopefully when you spin the middle shaft, this will give you 4 to 1 on the outside here or something like that, 3 to 1. With that locked, and with it unlocked, it'll give you 1 to 1. So I'm sort of still giving that some thought. Hey Nigel, good to see you. Still giving this some thought. I'm not sure if it's going to, as it is. I've actually printed up a sort of a second itineration, which is the gears. which should probably be something like that's a tight fit on there, but something like that. Don't know, probably in there like such, with something done here. So it doesn't quite work yet, but we're working on it. So sort of nutting that out, and if I can get a prototype that sort of looks like it's going to work, I might even think about making it or adapting it at least until we'll see if I can find some old gears out of a motorbike gearbox or something that I can pull out and cut apart and bore out and make it work, rather than cut new ones. The ring gear, that's a bit more difficult, but not even sure if that's going to work yet. But really nice to give me a 3-to-1 or 4-to-1, something like that, back gear off the top shaft, nice and compact, because I think I'd use that a fair bit. Anyway, just another stupid project. What else? They're still working on a motorbike next door. It's got a tyre in it. There were some pictures on Discord if anyone wants to run over and see. There's still some issues with getting the belt lined up on the pulley and things like that. It's got to be a little bit wider than is really comfortable, because it's a fairly wide tyre, so there's issues with that. So that's sort of a pain job I've been messing around with. See, if it's muggy, I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's me or whether it's the weather or what. I'm sort of feel like I'm probably nearly running a temperature, but I don't think it's COVID. Don't know. We'll see how I feel in the morning, but I think it's probably just the after effects of a migraine yesterday. Not that happy with that. Anyway, they're all things. Also need a VFD or a phase converter or something for the mill, and that isn't happening yet. It should be further up the list of priorities than it is, but at this point it hasn't happened. So what's everyone else doing? Interesting about that lathe, David. Gear train's completely open and quite dangerous. Yeah, tell me about it. We've got an open gear train too, but I don't think it's dangerous really. Depends on the user a bit and whether you're actually awake. Gee, I don't know. Really don't know. The big mill needs a new milling vise too. It hasn't got a vise really that's any good. I've got a vise off the little fella that might go on it for a bit. It's not really the answer, so don't really want to go to another grinding vise. I'm not a fan of those, to be honest. After using one for a couple of years, it's a bit of it's accurate and it's good and it's easy to set up, but you've got to put it on the table every time you set a job up. Otherwise, it's a pain in the neck to hold anything tight in. Well, that's very awesome, Nigel. Good to hear. Commercial work pays the bills. And the Lion Loco keeps everyone else happy. Filing machines probably of variable use, so I'd be very, very interested to see how you get on with it. I've got one half built. It's in a box here. Probably with the new mill I could get on and finish it, because that was the problem. I've run out of machine tool space. And if I got in and finished it, then probably I'd have it set up. I'm not sure how much use it's actually going to get. The band filer is probably a much more useful sort of a thing, I think. Anyway. Be interested to see how you get on. Oh. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. I'm not particularly good company tonight. We've been 46 minutes. We were way over last week, so we can probably afford to cut this a bit short. There's a video from Rust Knox. What else to see? There's one on Craig's second channel. He's gone to bed already. What else did I see? I think I saw something from... I went looking for it, though. I saw something from Stephen Lang. Do I still have a Newsman Shaper? No, I sold it. Raymond Martin, who is actually in the chat here, he bought it. It's gone to a good home. Probably I could buy it back at some point. But it probably isn't going to happen either. He's stuck with it. Kirk, good to see you. Chirpy's a big band filer fan, a big filing machine fan, absolutely. And he believes in them. I'm not sure how much use it is, to be honest. Yeah, I've talked about that enough anyway. If there's nothing else much happening, I'm going to call this. I think I'm going to say, hey, thanks for watching. Really appreciate everyone tuning in and cheering me up and touching base and waiting for live stream and knowing it's a thing without me actually advertising on any of the social media platforms. It's really awesome. Stephen Lang's making a harpsichord screw. That sounds like fun. That's excellent news, Kirk. That's really good news. I thought I saw a video from Stephen Lang this week, but maybe it got... I went looking for it tonight and couldn't find it again, so I can't... Sorry. May or may not have been a thing, or maybe I just imagined it. Might leave you with some pictures from the Sentinel Drivers newsletter. There you go. This is what I want in my life. Probably never going to happen, but if I keep talking about it enough, I might convince someone who'll jump in and support me on it, and then we kind of be a bit more confident about doing it. But anyway, it hasn't happened yet. So more about that at some later date, maybe, if you're lucky or not. Anyway, that's enough of a teaser. I'm going to kill it. Good night. Take care. I might not be on Discord or anything yet. Life's pretty busy too. You try and get things done as well. Thanks everyone for checking in and kind to each other. Thanks for the likes. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And probably more importantly, join in the chat and get to know everyone, because I really appreciate that. We're all really a fairly nice bunch. And yeah, we don't bite. So awesome to get to know everyone. So take care. And I'm out. Good night.